A burden of regret. Ethan was 18, a freshman at a bustling state university, his first taste of freedom intoxicating. The campus thrummed with energy, late-night parties, new faces, and the unspoken pressure to live every moment to the fullest. He'd grown up in a small town, where his parents were busy with work and church, but conversations about sex, responsibility, or consequences were absent. They assumed he'd figure it out, like they did. Now, surrounded by hormone-fueled peers, Ethan's desires roared louder than any caution he might have once heard. He met Lily in a sociology class, her sharp wit and warm smile drawing him in. Their first date was a blur of cheap pizza and nervous laughter, followed by a kiss under the glow of a dorm window. Dates turned into late nights in her room, the two of them tangled in sheets, boundaries blurring. Neither had been taught to pause, to question, to weigh the gravity of their choices. The pull of attraction was overwhelming, and they dove in headfirst, convinced this was what college was about. Weeks later, Lily's voice trembled over the phone. "I'm pregnant." Ethan's stomach dropped. He was 19, barely passing his classes, working part-time at a coffee shop. A baby? A family? The words felt foreign, impossible. Panic set in, not just his own but from everyone around him. His parents, when he told them, were furious. Not at him, but at Lily. "She should have been more careful," his mother snapped. His friends echoed the sentiment. "It's her fault for letting it happen." They urged him to walk away, to keep his life on track. "You're too young to be tied down," they said. Ethan, overwhelmed and insecure, listened. Lily, meanwhile, faced the weight alone. She dropped out of school, her dreams of becoming a journalist shelved as she prepared for motherhood. Ethan saw her once after the decision, her eyes red from crying, but he couldn't find words. He told himself it wasn't his fault, that he wasn't ready, that she'd be fine. Deep down, he knew he was running. College became a playground. Ethan leaned into the playboy life, chasing fleeting connections, each one a distraction from the gnawing guilt he buried. He dated other women, repeating the same cycle: charm, intimacy, detachment. None of them stuck, and he told himself that was freedom. By senior year, he was the guy everyone knew, always at the center of the party, but alone when the music stopped. After graduation, Ethan landed a marketing job in the city. Life moved fast, promotions, a nice apartment, and eventually, a relationship that felt different. Sarah was kind, grounded, and saw through his bravado. They married, and soon, they had 2 daughters. Fatherhood changed Ethan in ways he hadn't expected. Watching his girls grow, their laughter filling the house, he felt a love so fierce it scared him. But it also unearthed memories he'd tried to forget. At 35, sitting in his daughter's bedroom as they slept, Ethan's mind wandered to Lily. He hadn't spoken to her since college. Was she okay? Did he have a son or daughter out there? A child he'd never known? The questions haunted him, heavier with each passing year. He'd never been taught to value women beyond their bodies, to see sex as more than a conquest. No one had mentored him, warned him of the consequences, not just of pregnancy, but of the way his choices shaped his soul. Regret settled in his chest like a stone. He saw now how his insecurity had driven him to treat women as objects, to dodge responsibility, to let others bear the cost of his weakness. He wished he could go back, to be the man Lily needed, to stand up to his parents and friends, to face the fear instead of running. But time didn't bend. One night, alone in his study, Ethan broke. Tears streamed down his face as he whispered prayers for forgiveness, to God, to Lily, to the child he might never know. The guilt was a weight he'd carry forever, a penance for the boy he'd been. All he could do now was raise his daughters differently, to teach them respect, accountability, and the courage he'd lacked. And maybe, in that, he could find a sliver of redemption.